Hey everyone! Today I have a special video for you. It's the first public pic of the Ruko Triton, which I shared with my good friend yabende. So we decided to make this pic first because it was not picked on video before, and so we were like, let's do it together and release the video at the same time. So here it is. We have a Ruko Triton, which is a Danish lock with some special features that combines several locks together. So we have the bitting here, and also you can see the sidebar bitting. So there's a sidebar, and if you look from the top, you can see that these sidebar cuts are tilted or slanted. So we have a twin combi sidebar, and what we have are many cuts on the top of the key. And that's because this log uses the winged shaped key pins that you can see in something like a tri-wing or as a D12. And another thing that this shares to some extent with the D12 is the shape of the keyway. So I will talk about it in just a second. First, let me show you what does the key pins look like. So as you can see, in a way, they can remind you of the Medeco key pins somehow, but you are not rotating these, obviously. You are just pushing on them, but you can see that they have a tip, like they're winged, they are slanted to one side, and this shape goes like in here. Okay, so it sits like in these grooves. I think this is because of mastering, but it creates a challenge for the picker because the key pin is not symmetrical. The tip of it is not in the center of the chamber for the key pin, but it's either in the back or in the front of the chamber. And it's also a little bit sharper than you would normally expect, so you have to be very precise with your pick placement. So mastering probably the main reason why this looks like it looks, but a secondary effect is that it's more difficult to get on this with your hook. Okay, for the drivers we have the standard ESA barrels paired with a pretty effective countermilling present in all of the 6 chambers. You can see what it looks like, and also you can see a little like not cuts but these things, I don't know how to call it. It looks like lemons the holes, but it's for the key pins. They have like little 2 metal protrusions on either side, so you can see these laterally, so they fit into these holes like they do. Okay, so here we have a sidebar slot. Let's talk about a sidebar. We have something that you would normally expect from your typical twin combi style sidebar. So this shape, and also visible serrations on the sides of these teeth. Okay, it's actually not that visible from this angle. I don't know why, but here you can see these little things right here are serrations, and these interact with the finger pins. We have them here, pretty standard looking twin combi style finger pins with vertical serrations. Focus is not cooperating today for some reason. Okay, so here we have the finger pin and the vertical serrations and the through gate right over here, cupped for the spring, and this knob here is what you are interacting with your flag or sidebar finger pin pick. Okay, so basically that's what the contents look like. Here we have the key hole, the keyway. You can see that it kind of the reminiscence of the D-shaped D12 keyhole but it's reversed, so it's like a B shaped, I guess. It looks pretty restrictive. I'm not saying it's not, but it's definitely not like a completely mirrored D12 keyway, because look, what I could do is I could fit a 0.23 thousandths hook in there somehow. I was lifting the key pins laterally, like from side. I was not directly in the middle of the tip of the key pin. Let me just demonstrate it real quick for you, but it's possible basically to fit a 23 thousandths hook in there, so that's nice. Can I see it? Okay, so like this from side. You can see I cannot go there like directly under, because there's this piece of wording, but if I go laterally, it's possible. Well, I hope you get the idea, because it wasn't visible too well. Okay, so that was a kind of nice surprise, or I felt relieved, because I was afraid it will be the literal copy of the D12 QA, and that would be really impossible to get the hook into there. I was prepared to pick the barrels with a flag, basically. So that would be a real pain in the dick to do. Anyway, to pick this lock, basically, first you have to pick the sidebar or the finger pins, or at least try to find a way, tension direction where the sidebar bands first. At least for me, it was better to start with the finger pins, because there can be a little bit random, and you know, after you deal with the barrels, you don't want to finish the pick with the sidebar. Maybe you do, but for me it was better this way. And another thing, that the sidebar gives you a pretty clear feedback when it's picked, so you know that you can move to the barrels. If you start with the top pins, I guess there is no like very clear sign that you are done with the top pins and you can move to the sidebar. You can always check if it's not winding, but I preferred it this way. So to pick the sidebar, I was using the classic MP10 flag. Nothing too fancy about it. I just mixed up the finger pins nice. So to do it, basically you are pulling and pushing on the finger pin, and then you are lifting it. So I think this technique was explained a lot in previous videos, although I talked about it, I think, in my variant video, Fab variant, yeah. So a combi sidebar, nothing too revolutionary. And then obviously you have to pick the barrel spools. I also talked about barrel spools in my previous videos, but just a quick summary: with barrels you need a lot of tension to start with, because they don't give much feedback, they act tapered, and it's very easy to overset them when you start. So it helps to know that which barrels start already in the counter milling. You don't want to touch these at the beginning of when you start working on them, because the point in phase 1 when picking barrels is to get them into the counter milling, and these that are already in counter milling you don't have to touch, and you don't want to do it. So basically, first phase, get everything to the counter milling, then you start getting some really sharp clicks, and next phase is basically get these barrels out of the counter milling. That can be obviously difficult, because the milling is pretty effective and it bites really hard. It's a new lock as well, so that didn't help the cause. Feeling for a barrel that you're stuck in the counter milling is kind of difficult, a lot more difficult than for something like gin bottle spools, but you can do it if you push it and you feel like a stop, like a kind of metallic stop, I would say, not a springy stop. You know that you should work on that barrel a little bit more. Also, if you release some tension and test a barrel, if it's in the milling, and if it is, you can see the plug moving like up and down a little bit, like this, literally like this kind of motion. So that's another trick. A monitor darkly showed me that in his video, so it's not like my idea. Okay, I think I rambled enough about these internals, so let's go ahead and get this lock picked. Okay, let's go. Key works. Let's go counterclockwise because the side pins, the finger pins bind first like that. Okay, so 1, not like this. Okay, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and 5. Okay, let's try to lift them. Go through them several times. Some small clicks here and there. Okay, now I think the finger pins are in the correct height, but something is not rotated properly. Let's try 5. Sometimes it's 5. So I pulled him, try to lift again. Not much happened. Try to pull 3. 3 seems to be good. So that's 5. So that's 2. Okay, let's go again. Click on 1 and on 3. 5 is good. Click on 2 and operate this self-explanatory sound, so the sidebar is picked. Okay, let's pick the barrels now. Heavy tension. And be careful for oversets, because they are very possible at this stage. Until you have everything in the milling, you can very easily overset the barrels. Okay, click on 5. One, 2, click there. Some cool clicks on 3. Oopsie, I don't want this. Okay, 2 feels good. 3 as well. 4 is bound, and this lock is just slipping out of the vise. Back to 1. Feels good. 2 good. 3. I will click there. 4 is bound, pretty sure. Nothing there though. Just yet. Back to 5. Some click there. Nothing on 6. Back to 1. Click on 1. 2 is good for now. 3. Click there. 4. Click on 4. And how about 6 now? click on 6. Why not? Back to 1. 1 feels good. 2. 2 is bound, I think. Okay, got something out of him. Nothing on 3, 4. 5 is bound. Let's find the correct angle. Okay, the log is sleeping again. Pretty sure that 5 is bound, but 3, 4, 5. This is insane. Okay. That threw me a little bit off guard, of balance. 5. Come on, buddy. You can do this. Come on, was that the click? It was very mute. Okay, I think I got something out of 5. So let's go back to 1 and 2 and 3. Click on 3. Nothing on 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. Nope. Back to 1. Just need to find. Actually, 2 is weird. 2 is a little weird now. Okay, got something out of him. 3 good. 4 good. 5 is dropped. Alright, we have an open. It's so hot in this room and my hands were sweating and the log just started slipping out of the vise. Anyway, we got an open, so that's great. Let's not fuck this up like last time when I put the log out of the frame. Okay, so to get this you definitely need a shim. When I first got it, I was like, it's just barrels, dude. Who the fuck needs a shim, right? But no, you definitely need a shim because there was a nasty surprise waiting for me. So there is this pull protection, I guess it's pull protection. You need to screw it out. And this pull protection is the reason why you need a shim. I will show you why in a second. Okay, in you go. This should be enough. Okay, and out you go. So look, as I unscrew the pull protection, the diameter of the core or the plug is suddenly smaller, so the barrel started like popping out when I was first getting it, so that sucked. Alright, so oops, there's our sidebar, spring 1 and spring 2. Okay, so I'm gonna just dump the key pins now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Cool. Side pins. Not sure how I will arrange this. Let's just put them here now, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 springs. Does this work? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. Okay, there he is. Magnet solves it. Okay, just show this. I think you can see the milling. I'm not gonna do the sound thing. And drivers. So 1. That's it, baby. 2. 3. What the hell? 4. 5. And okay, that works too. 6. It's really clumsy with this follower. Okay, and the springs, I just put them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me 2 more. 1 and 1 more, please. There you go. Okay. So not exactly nicely arranged, but I think you can see that everything is there. Okay. Alright, I think that pretty much wraps it up. So thank you for watching if you made it so far, and have a nice day. See you next time.